Good morning, good evening, or good night, depending on what time of day it is that you are watching this video. I hope that you are having a good day or have had a good day. My name is James, and I'm back bringing you another weekly A1 Edgefinder video. If you're familiar with the channel, you know that every Friday we take a look at the A1 Edgefinder, our market scanning software, and see what the biggest movers of the day are. But before we get into that, I want to show you guys something really cool over on the A1 Trading YouTube channel where you're watching this video right now. If you notice next to the subscribe button, we've got this little join button here, and that is channel memberships. Channel memberships is a super cool way for you guys to support our channel if you like what we're doing. We have 3 different tier memberships. They are a monthly payment. The first tier is $4.99, and that's going to give you access to these cool badges and emojis here, as well as member only mode when we do our live streams. If you're a fan of the live streams, we'll be able to see that you're a member with these custom channel badges next to your name, so you guys get top priority in the comments. Nick or whoever's doing the live stream that day is looking out for you guys so that he can respond to your comments and look at the charts that y'all want to see. And we've gotten so many channel members that we've switched it to channel members only mode in the comment section, so that only you guys, the people who pay to support us, can chat with us during the live stream. So that's really cool. Plus, if you're a new member, you're going to get 2 names up on our giveaway wheel, which is our wheel that we spin during our live stream to give out a special prize. Recently we've been doing access to our VIP Discord community, but that could change in the future. If you want a different tier, we have tier 2 membership that gets you all those same perks tier 1 does, plus 4 names on the board and 25% off anything in our store. And tier 3, same thing, you're gonna get everything tier 1 did, but you're also going to get access to the MT4 software tools, as well as 50% off anything in the store and 8 names on the board. So consider becoming a channel member. We now have well over 50 of you guys, both tier 1 and tier 2, no tier 3 yet, so you could be our first tier 3 member, and we're going to give you a special shout out if that is the case. But thank you to everybody that's become channel members. Y'all are amazing. But let's go ahead and dive right into the video. So we're going to start like we always do in the market heat map. And the market heat map shows you the biggest movers of the day. Again, this is different than the Scorechart Summary, who shows you what the software believes is going to continue moving in either direction, either buy or sell. And this is more of a continuing forecast, a projected forecast of what is going to continue to come, but the market heat map just shows you specifically what has been moving today. So the biggest movers for today are gold, US oil, NZD USD, JP 225, the Aussie dollar, and the pound dollar. In the buy section, you see the blue means buy, and the darker the blue, the stronger the buy, and vice versa. Red means sell, the darker the red, the stronger the sell. So the top 6 sells of the day are GBP JPY, CAD JPY, Euro JPY, USD JPY, USD ZAR, and US 10 year. All right, so that is our look at the market heat map. Let's look on over at the Scorechart Summary, where we can see all of the indices, commodities, and currency pairs that we have listed in the Edgefinder. And again, this is getting updated every 15 to 30 minutes. Like it's constantly getting updated so that you have the most up-to-date information. We can actually see right here that it was most recently updated at 10:51 a.m. this morning. So that was only about like 15 minutes ago. So we have CAD JPY right here as our strongest buy. Well, NZD USD and USD TRY are also our strongest buys with a score of 5. And down here, we have 4 pairs that are all tied with a strong sell bias, negative score 7 here. GBP USD, EuroCAD, GBP AUD, and GBP NZD. All these pound pairs are doing pretty poor at the moment. Last week we switched things up and we started with our strongest sell, but now we're going to go back to normal. We're going to go to the strongest buy. So let's look at NZD USD, because I feel like I've looked at CAD JPY before. I don't think I've looked at NZD USD in one of these videos yet. So let's check that out. So here we are on the NZD USD page. Right now we're doing a major discount on our private trading Discord. Inside of the group, our analysts share their trade signals with a full breakdown of entries, exits, and the reasoning behind their trade. Additionally, you'll be able to chat with other A1 trading members, and you'll be supporting our content. In order to take advantage of this significant discount, use code A1YT when checking out with the link in the description below. We look forward to seeing you inside of the group. So we can see that we have this buy bias, not a strong buy bias like we had those strong sell biases, but a buy bias with a score of 5. And here we have all the metrics that we log for each pair, commodity and indice. So we'll start with COT data as we move down the list with a score of -1. So if we scroll down here, we can see our COT data, or institutional traders data. And the US dollar has a 80% long compared to a, we'll just call it a 20% short. And the New Zealand dollar has a 42% long and a 57% short. And keep in mind, this little right here shows you how much it's moved recently, how much it's gone up or gone down recently. So retail sentiment we have listed right under here, and the retail sentiment, it shows a 70% long and 30% short. Seasonality, always one of my favorite things to look at. I find it really interesting. We are in the month of July, so we can see that our all-time average is neutral at 0, and the last 5-year average is at a 0.01, and the current year average is at a -0.01. But you can see how well this pair has trended over time. So the current year average is going to be this gray line. So in the past couple months, we've had a sharp downward trend, but historically speaking, it looks like later on in the year, the pair begins to trend back upwards. So keep an eye out for that. Trend reading. This just means whether or not the pair is moving up or down respectively. So with a score of 2, it is moving up respectively, semi-strongly. GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, interest rate divergence all have a score of 1. And we can look at all of that right here. US dollar, GDP growth, -1.6%. while inflation sits at 9.1%. New Zealand dollar, GDP growth of -0.2%. Inflation sits at 7.3%. And we have our daily price chart, which goes back a full month. You'll see that today is July 22nd, and we go all the way back to June 23rd. And I'll zoom in on this for you here so you can take a look at those numbers. And keep in mind that we have our daily average along with the 14-day, 7-day, and 4-day averages for all of these items. So that is our #1 buy of the day, or tied for our #1 buy of the day. And keep in mind, if you wanted to switch through any of the things that we have listed in the Edgefinder, you can do that on this left panel over here. We have our minor currency pairs right here, along with our major currency pairs, commodities, and the indices. So really, really simple and easy to navigate. So much information, but let's head back over to the Scorechart Summary so we can choose a sell to look at really quickly. We have lots of GBP down here. So let's just do GBP USD. How about that? So here we are inside of the GBP USD page, and you'll notice that this looks just a little different than the one that we just looked at, and that is because all of the items in the Edgefinder are getting a bit of an update, and it's rolling out daily, so some things are going to look a little bit differently. But we have some new stuff down here. We have our scanner output summary, which is basically just like a written sum up of everything you're looking at. So if you're not completely sure what something means, or if you kind of understand or learn it better when it's written out and read to you, that's what you can look at here. So feel free to pause the video and check this section out right here, because this is really interesting if you're one of those people who likes to read and get a summary, and that's something that you'll find interesting. This is going to explain everything that's going on up here, as well as we have the news tab now, so you can see that it's actually getting updated with live news and the impact that the news will potentially have, what the news event is, just super detailed. You can actually scroll and look through. I mean, like, look at all of this stuff. I mean, this is ridiculous how detailed this software is. It's really such a fascinating software and such a useful tool to have. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at the pair. We have a strong sell bias score of -7, and we can see that again here. COT data is going to be a -2, and if we look right down here, we can see that the US dollar has a 80% long and 20% short, same as the pair that we just looked at. And the pound, however, is different, and we have a 26.7% long and a 73.3% short. And retail sentiment sits at a -1, and we can see that right next to the COT data now, with a 68% long here and 32% short here. So if I wanted, I could take a look down in the scanner output summary, the page I was just telling y'all to check out, and let's just read this just a little bit really quickly. I'll just do it really briefly. Let's see, we can see that GBP has a long percentage of 26.7%, and we see that the US dollar has a long percentage of 80.03%. This category receives a -2 as institutional traders favor USD. Taking a look at the GBP USD, we see that retail traders are 68% long and 32% short. We consider this information most useful when a market is at extreme reading from retail traders. If the retail crowd is 60% or more positioned to one side, we get a +1 or -1. Currently, the GBP USD gets a reading of -1 in this category. Remember, if the retail crowd is very long, we will look to short, and vice versa. See, now isn't that just so useful, guys? I mean, all right, we'll keep moving on. Seasonality, -1, that has moved right here. So let's look at July. All-time average, -0.01. Last 5-year average sits at 0, and the current year average at -0.03. You can see, similar to the last pair we just looked at, strong downward trend in the beginning of the month, but slowly seems to have an upward trend towards the later months of the year. Moving right along, the trend reading sits at -1. Again, that just means that the market is moving slightly downward, respectively. GDP growth, score of 1, inflation, unemployment, interest rate divergence, -1 here. So we can look at all of that right here. Again, let's see, GBP 0.8% GDP growth. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Too many G's and P's. Inflation 9.4%. US dollar -1.6% GDP growth and 9.1% inflation. And lastly, daily price chart. There we are, July 22nd. Let you guys look at those numbers. And just for fun, let's see how much it's changed since June 23rd last month. You can take a look at that. And there we go. So there's so much more to the Edgefinder than just this. We have our smart money tracker, which I've started doing videos on for you guys, again, on the A1 Trading YouTube channel. So look out for that. And we have our fundamental analysis tab right here with all kinds of news and other stuff going on. I mean, this is all brand new stuff that's just been added to the Edgefinder. Inflation, interest rates, unemployment, GDP growth. Lots and lots of detailed stuff here that we will get to in later videos. But for now, that's going to do it for me in this Edgefinder video. I hope y'all have enjoyed. If you like this content, please subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like down below, and we'll catch you in the next one.